Hey everybody, it's Liz of Consumed by Books, and it is in my mailbox time. It's been 3 weeks since I did a vlog, and that's because I've been on vacation, but I have a ton of stuff to show you guys, so let's just get right into it. I actually got a lot of books for review over this period. First up is Back When You Were Easier to Love by Emily Wing Smith. I am reading this as part of a tour for Teen Book Scene. There is going to be a character interview and review up on my blog, so be on the lookout for it. I'm 50 pages in and it's very good so far, so I'm very excited about it. Next up is Virtuosity, which is by Jessica Martinez. This is another book that I'm going to be part of a tour on through Teen Book Scene, and I've heard good things about it thus far, so I'm very excited about it. Next, I got some books through the Atria Alley Galley promotion. Atria is part of Simon & Schuster. I got a copy of Triangles, which is by Ellen Hopkins. Ellen has written a lot of YA books, including Crank, and I haven't read any of her stuff, but I plan to read Crank soon, I hope. And this novel is targeted towards adults and is written in verse. And it looks very interesting, so I'm looking forward to reading it. Also, look at this cover. I didn't realize how pretty it was in person. And next up, I got a copy of The Map of Time by Felix J. Palma. This is also part of the Atria Galley Alley promotion, and I didn't realize that they would actually be sending a finished copy, but it's very lovely and pretty. And if you look in the inside cover, it's got like this cool illustration. And this seems like kind of a steampunk book. It has characters from Dracula by Bram Stoker and The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I haven't read The Time Machine, so I'll probably pick that up before I read this, but at any rate, this looks fantastic. Thank you, Atria Galley Alley, for sending me those. Next up is a book that I borrowed, The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I borrowed this from Shannon of Chick Loves Lit, so thank you very much, Shannon. I've already read this one, and I was kind of in the middle of about it, so look for my review closer to the release date, which will be in September, it looks like. Okay, as you all know, I got a copy of Rise by Stephanie Miller a while ago, which is the sequel to her first book, Salvage. Still haven't read it, again, hoping too soon. TBR pile is huge. But Stephanie was very kind and sent me some Salvaged and Rise bookmarks. Very pretty, right? And she signed them. So I already put aside one of these for me to keep for myself, and the rest I'm gonna pass on to other people. So if you get a package from me, you will probably get a salvaged bookmark. Cool, right? Next up is an RAK from Kate of Literary Explorations. She sent me a copy of The Iron Witch by Karen Mahoney. Haven't heard a ton about this one, but it sounds good. And the cover is a little bit busy, but it is actually pretty. So thank you very much, Kate. And next up are the books that I bought. There's a fair handful here, but that's how I roll. I picked up a copy of American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I actually picked this up when I was in Portsmouth, New Hampshire visiting family. I wasn't originally going to get a copy of this, but I saw that this one is signed. Yeah. So that is pretty awesome. This is the 10th anniversary edition, and it's longer than the original, I think by like 12,000 words or so. If you read the original American Gods and this edition, please let me know which I should start with, because I'm not really sure. I got Uncommon Criminals, which is by Ally Carter. This is the sequel to High Society, which I loved. It's a very fun read about spies, and I'm just super excited for the sequel. Also, I love how there's stuff reflected in her sunglasses, and this is just very pretty. Yay! Next up, I got a copy of Wrapped by Jennifer Bradbury. This is a YA historical fiction set in Regency era England, and I'm very excited about that. I got some Jane Austen type items. The Jane Austen Handbook, which is by Margaret C. Sullivan. Proper Life Skills from Regency England. So this is kind of a book of advice. It's got things like how to behave at your first ball, how to ride side saddle, how to decline an unwanted marriage proposal. And it just sounds very fun and wonderful and like the perfect book for an Austenite like me to own. So I got it. Also, I didn't realize how little this book would be. It's cute. It's like a mini book. And Penguin put out a new deluxe edition of Persuasion by Jane Austen, and I love this cover. I think it fits the book quite well, and I need to reread Persuasion, and this is just lovely. Next up, Letters to a Young Poet by Rainier Maria Rilke. This is just a book that I've heard a lot of people say wonderful things about. Not really a YA title, but I hope to read it soon. I got a copy of A Need So Beautiful, which is by Suzanne Young. This got a lot of hype in the blogosphere leading up to the release, and it sounds wonderful, so I got a copy. I didn't realize how metallic it would be in person. Seriously, look at how shiny this book is. I love it. Very excited. This is another book that's been getting a lot of hype in the blogosphere, and the finished copy is so much prettier than I could have realized. It's Hourglass by Myra McIntyre. I love how shimmery this cover is and the back. Oh, so awesome. I've been hearing, again, a lot of great reviews of this one, especially from Julie of Vlogger's Heart Books. And yeah, I just want to read it. So I got it. Next up is a dystopian book, Blood Red Road, which is by Maura Young. I know some people have started to say they're getting kind of tired of dystopia. This is not at all the case for me. I love dystopias. And I have heard that the writing in this book is absolutely beautiful, and I'm very much looking forward to picking it up. The one thing that bothers me about this finished copy is the author's last name isn't centered on the spine, and I feel like it should be, which is a very silly thing, but I always just want to like poke it back to the middle. So anyways, got one last book to show you guys this week, and that is Sisterhood Everlasting, which is by Anne Brashares. This is a sequel to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants books, or maybe not a sequel, but a companion novel. I don't really know. Does it say anywhere what it claims to be? No. This is like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 10 years after the fourth book, which is Forever in Blue. It's right there. I love those books. I've actually heard that this one is quite a bit darker than the original Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, so it may be a very different reading experience, but nonetheless, I absolutely adored those books as a teenager, and I'm really psyched to see where Brashares takes this series next. So, we shall see. And that is everything that I've gotten over the past couple of weeks. Tons of awesome stuff that will certainly keep me very busy. I want to know about what you guys got in your mailbox, so be sure to leave me a link in the comments, and I will come and check you out. Happy reading!